Action SA concluded the meeting with the ANC on the understanding that the ANC would support no tax increases. However, we do recognise that it is the ANC's prerogative to conclude a deal with other parties within or outside the GNU. Action SA remains resolute. We will not accept any tax increases.
First proposal, which was 2%, and later on, in the budget that was not presented, it was reduced to 0.5%. Our view as the ANC was that this now is before Parliament. The ANC caucus in Parliament must then reflect on this matter and engage with other political parties in an effort to find a common ground in order to deal with what is otherwise a negative response to the hike of the 0.5 VAT. Now, it is not that the ANC was sitting back and therefore Action SA arrived and said, let's do it this way. The ANC in its engagement with various political parties was exploring the different alternatives we need to work on. Now, that is the ANC in Parliament that was undertaking that exercise. We never went to a discussion with any political party, including the Action SA, and said we have no view. We said we've got views, but let's find a formula through which we can ultimately resolve this problem before the date at which the ministers are determined for the VAT to kickstart. The wrong assumption is that there was another platform through which this matter could have been discussed and finalized in the best interest of our people, other than the meeting of the portfolio committee that said today. There was no other platform. When you make an assumption that the ANC was not going to make this proposal in the Standing Committee on Finance, despite the fact that after the budget was announced, the ANC stood publicly and said, we agree with this budget, but we are noting the concerns of other political parties and various sectors of society. As a consequence of which, we are going to lead the initiative. And I thought we are going to recognize the importance of that intervention on our part. We are going to lead the initiative to convene meetings with each and every political party represented in Parliament to seek their own opinion, to share with them our own perspective.
It must have and provide clarity on what is happening on the 1st of May. Because the proposal is open-ended. There must, within 30 days, come a proposal. But South Africans out there and the budget process will still experience a VAT increase on the 1st of May.
Our solution would have forced the minister to take VAT out of what's called the fiscal framework, which is a fancy word for a box that determines how big our revenue and expenditure should be. Parliament has it within its power to reduce the size of that box, and that's called amending the fiscal framework. So you've got one option in law, which is amending it, and you've got a second option in law, which is accepting it. The fiscal framework, as it stands, makes provision for 1% VAT increase over the next 2 years, 0.5% this year, 0.5% next year. Action SA, with the IFP and the ANC, have sold South Africans down the river. They've accepted the current fiscal framework, and they've recommended that some of the elements therein be re-looked at. The only two options to this committee today was either to amend or to accept. We proposed an amendment, and Action SA settled for acceptance.